And all these things happen, and they happen on a regular basis. And in fact, we took a look at the Chronicle and found that the overwhelming majority over the past year of articles on homeless people, it was only 23% that connotated them in any kind of fair light. The remaining articles use some kind of derogatory language to describe them. And whenever we see this happening, we see a direct increase in the number of hate crimes on the street. And I think what it does is, for people who are already haters, it kind of opens the door and makes them feel comfortable doing things that are wrong. And of course, we have to remember, poor people, homeless people are just like any other folks. They're frankly no different. They may not
They're
be
just
as
like
lucky.
me, because I've been homeless several times in my life. But I've just been very fortunate. Someone always took me in, and I didn't have to live on the street. But it's a very scary feeling to see night falling and you don't have a roof.
Yeah.
So, but anyone can become homeless, and with the economy going down the tube so fast, I really think we're experiencing a recession or depression at this point, and I think it's going to worsen. And all the signs are there that it's going to get much worse, because the ripples from the housing debacle have only begun. So homelessness is going to increase exponentially across this country.
Yeah, and we have veterans coming back that are going to be struggling to support themselves because there's so much injury. And I kind of want to point that out, because that's also when we're talking about the national issue, when we talk about our priorities as a society. We spend more on one DDX, attack nuclear submarine, than we do on our entire housing budget in the country. One submarine we spend more on than our entire housing budget. And so when we talk about priorities, yeah, it's really, we are creating a situation where people do not have a place to live. And then we're turning around and blaming them for their bad luck.
Not to mention a $3 trillion Iraq war.
Yeah.
And veterans coming home that are going to no doubt add to the homeless population. They're not going to have housing for all of these disabled veterans and people with mental health problems, PTSD. What percentage of the homeless are vets?
Right now it's about 25% are veterans.
So 1 out of 4 homeless people are vets who've tried to serve their country and wound up on the street.
Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes with disabilities and different situations. But it's very clear that we're going to see a lot more specifically from this war, because of medicine, we're able to save so many more lives. But we are ending up with proportionally a lot more people with disabilities.
Of course.
Organic brain disorder, injuries that are very difficult to treat, and a whole host of other injuries and disabilities.
We have about a minute left. So if you could kind of wind up, and you wanted to mention Buster's Place closing.
Yeah, I mean, we're having huge budget cuts. I would encourage people to get in touch with the Coalition on Homelessness to help us fight against it, because we are looking at massive cuts to poor people, and we already closed the only 24-hour drop-in center in the city, and they opened up another one temporarily.
And that was Buster's Place.
And that was Buster's Place. It's going to close. A lot of people with disabilities put out on the streets, and that's only a precursor to what's to come. So we're really nervous. We're talking about massive cuts to all kinds of healthcare treatment. And we're going to need to really bind together to fight against it, look for alternatives to balancing the budget on the backs of the most vulnerable San Franciscans.
Jennifer, I can't thank you enough for joining us here on SF Live. Thank you very much for giving us such valuable information. Keep up your great work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I have a few announcements. If I can get these glasses on my face. And please protest the latest court decision in the case of death row prisoner, political prisoner Mumia Abu Jamal tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., 14th and Broadway in downtown Oakland. Please be sure to join the San Francisco 8 rally at 8 a.m. Monday morning in front of 850 Bryant Street. to demand the charges be dropped against the San Francisco 8. All 8 elders will be in court at 930 Department 23 on the 3rd floor of the courthouse. For more information, go to www.freethesf8.org. Tune in next Friday, same time, same place, when our guest will be one of the San Francisco 8 defendants, Harold Taylor from Florida. Special thanks to Aaron Dougherty for engineering. Thank you for watching. And for SF Live, I'm Kilu Inyasha. Good evening and all power to the people. Thank you very much once again, Jennifer Friedenbach, for joining us here on San Francisco Live. It's been a pleasure.